So the children are going to stay with us, so let's be patient. But next week we will have a children's church. So we'll probably make it about 45 minutes today, so because of the children, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say three stories. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to speak about today, but we're gonna pick three stories out of the Bible, and I want at the end I would like to have some feedback and say, what do you think all these three stories have about? Okay, so we're gonna have a little Bible study, but it's a little bit of a learning and a little bit of what we've been teaching about the names of God. Okay, that's a clue, the names of God, and where we're going with this one. All right, so we're going to start off with a very funny, interesting story that's found in the Kings Bible, in Second Kings, not First King, but Second Kings. So if you have your Bible app, remember, if you don't have a Bible, get one. If you can't afford a Bible, we'll give you one. Just come and see us in the office. I'm serious. The first thing everybody that ever has ever been to counseling, ever been in my office and me praying for you or something, the first thing I tell you, how's your Bible reading? How's your prayer life with God? And by that will tell me how you're doing, honestly. So 2 Kings, chapter 6, 2 Kings, chapter 6, and I'm going to read from verses 1 through 7. And this is a very interesting story if you've never read it. And the sons of the prophet said to Elisha, remember, this is not Elijah, this is Elisha, his predecessor. No. See now, the place where we dwell with you is too small for us. Please let us go to the Jordan, to the river, and let every man take a beam from there, and let us make there a place where we may dwell. So he answered, go. Okay, not so spiritual yet. Then one said, please consent to go with your servants. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them. Okay, where are we going with this, right? And when they came to the Jordan, they cut down trees. But as one was cutting down a tree, the iron axe head fell into the water. And he cried out and said, alas, like, oh my gosh, basically saying, Master, for it was borrowed. So the man of God, which was Elisha, said, where did it fall? In the river, in the Jordan. And he showed him the place, basically there. So Elisha said, so he cut off a stick and threw it in there, in the river. And he made the iron float. Therefore he said, pick it up for yourself. So he reached out his hand and took it. That is it. That's the story. So let me paraphrase it. So basically, let's go somewhere closer to the Jordan River. And this place where we're meeting is not big enough. Let's make something bigger. Like I don't know, like a church, a house, something, a building. So all the men, guess what? It's a men's fellowship day. Women's, Grab your axes, grab your shovels, grab your saws, grab your hammers. Let's start building. So they went near the Jordan, and then there's trees there. They got the tree, and okay, this tree is too much. Okay, can you cut it down more? Okay. So he's chopping away, and one good chop. And for anybody that's ever done an axe head, you know what an axe head, right? An axe or a talache, a hoe. At the end of it, sometimes, especially in the old days, it used to slip out, and they used to put like a wedge in it so it won't come out. But you see, here, I can go to a Walmart, hardware store, Borderland, and they got axe heads, they got shovels, they got everything there, right? Well, back then, iron was rare. To make one, you needed, it's not like you find them in every corner, you know what I'm saying? So this was the axe that this gentleman, this person was having. It was a borrowed tool. an axe. It was borrowed. And so when he went like this and just went to go hit it, it just flew off the stick and landed in the Jordan. How are you going to find in the deep Jordan, how are you going to find an axe head? Sinking into the mud, it's gone. And he said, oh no, it was borrowed, and it's probably very expensive. And it was borrowed, I have to give it back. Okay? So, still spiritual? Not yet. So, Elisha saw that this guy was worried about it. So Elijah said, where did it fall? He says, right over there, somewhere over there. I was like this, and this happened, and it just flew over there. Okay. So went found a tree, cut the limb off, grabbed the twig, a limb of the tree, and where? Over there. Okay. Threw it. Landed on the water. Trees float, right? Wood floats? Yes. And all of a sudden, what does it say that happened? The axe head floated up, probably right next to that limb. That says, now quickly, go get it before he goes back down. Okay, so is that a miracle? I mean, what would you call that? Iron does not float. Not even aluminum. Gold, I mean, it sinks to the bottom. But he threw a piece of tree in the water, and the axe head floated up. So how spiritual is this? Where am I going with this? Can you all remember this little story? Y'all got this story? Yes? You got about the axe head. Somebody was worried. Elisha went, a prophet, and got a twig, threw it in the water. Axe head went up. The servant went, the person, and grabbed the axe. Everything was good again. Remember this story. Okay. Now we're going to go into the New Testament. Another strange nugget in the Bible that's found in Matthew. And Matthew, by the way, was one of the disciples, tax collector, a rich man, but gave everything to follow Jesus. So Matthew, the tax collector,